In this video I will explain to you what to do on each budget and which tournaments you should play. And starting off, we have of course free to play, but I haven't taken this into consideration when I made the budget pyramid. But if you're free to play, you should play the amateur divisions, and then your goal should be to try win a limited card and then play them in the kickoff divisions. And I won't explain the different tournaments on Sorare. If you want me to have a full breakdown of how to start playing Sorare and everything you need to know before starting, I could make a video about that, but in today's video I will go on to every different budget, and that is also why I have made a budget pyramid. And starting off, we have 20 euros to 50 euros. If I were in that category, I would personally play kickoff divisions and also try to make a cap to 40 team. That is my two main goals, and try to win the threshold consistently, because now I feel like the amount of players that is undervalued is insane on Sorare. So me personally believe it's a perfect time for new users to start playing. And if you haven't played Sorare before, remember to use my link in the description. If you buy 5 players from the auction market, you will have an advantage and get one limited card that can be worth everything from 2 euros to 20 euros. But we won't talk too much about that. So I think that is a very good thing to do if you're on a low budget, kickoff and cap to 40. But remember, if you will play kickoff and cap to 40 limited, remember that you need to have max 10 limited players to be allowed to play in the kickoff divisions. Moving on, we have 50 euros to 100 euros. If I were on that budget, I would slightly move away from kickoff. Try to play second division Europe. That's my main advice. Try to play second division Europe, because I feel like second division Europe is so overlooked, and especially when you're on a low budget, I feel like that is the best tournament to start playing, and have another tournament by the side. For example, cap to 40, keep on playing that, and also try to play Champion Europe or something. But you remember you're on a budget, and also maybe trade a little bit here and there, or play the specialist tournament, like you need 4 limiteds and 1 common. But here the main tournament I would try to switch to and play more of is a second division Europe, because I feel like it's so overlooked and it's so easy to win when there are few games in the second division Europe. And the next one is from 100 euros to 250 euros. I would personally try to get the last of utility of the new Premier League competition. I think it's only some weeks left, but you still can get some utility in the limited divisions. And also now I feel like the Premier League players have gone down a little bit in value. So I would personally buy some limited players in from the Premier League new season, so you can play in the Premier League winter special tournament. And then after you have played that, you can move on to Champion Europe with those players. And also now you're on a higher budget, so I would still try to try to play as many limited tournaments, but don't rush it. Don't have multiple goalkeepers, that isn't good. Try to have 4 or 5 teams in limited each week that can consistently hit you rewards, and I think that is a very good way to play. And also keep in mind, always have a cap to 40 team, strong cap to 40 team, because that is so important, because those thresholds help you so much. And the next budget scarcity is 250 euros to 500 euros. In this situation, you are sniffing on the rare divisions, but I don't think this is the right time to move into rare. I personally don't think so. You can try to play cap 220 rare, and that is probably the lowest I would go in the rare divisions. I wouldn't try to get a goalkeeper yet. I think you should still try to have some limited teams, but keep in mind to try and slowly, if you're on like 500 euros, you could slightly move over to rare, because I feel like rare is the best scarcity to play in my opinion, but limited is extremely fun because it happens so quick. If you want a player, you can get him in like 10 minutes. If you're on rare or super rare, you need a lot more patience. But I would personally stick with limited here, and yeah, slightly move away to cap to 20 rare or cap to 40 rare if you want to play a 4-man threshold. But now, the next scarcity, 500 euros to 1000 euros, I think the best thing to do here is grind cap 240 as much as you can. Cap 240 rare, grind it, grind it, grind it. And I would personally buy a specific cap 240 rare team that you only play in cap 240 rare with low L15s, and then you have a side project with limited players, and also when you have won enough thresholds, you can try to move away to cap 220 and cap 270 and try to play other divisions. But here I would focus mainly on cap 240 rare. And the reason for that is because I feel like if you win, let's say 10 thresholds, you're almost on 500 euros. And if you win 20 thresholds, you have almost won your entire gallery value. So that is just insane, and I think that is the right thing to do there. And moving on, we have from 1000 euros to 2000 euros. Here is the same. Play cap 240, but I would slightly try to move over to different tournaments in terms of rare. And I will also still play limited, because I think as many teams you have, as much fun is it, and how much can you earn? And I think limited is way overlooked. I have personally moved very, very away from limited. I still play cap 240 tournaments, but that's not my main focus, playing limited tournaments now. Before it was I was so hyped for limited game weeks. But we have seen some Sorare YouTubers that still have incredible value in limited players. Yeah, I think it's a little bit overlooked, to be honest. And if you're on 1000 euros to 2000 euros, I still think winning, for example, coming top 10 in a limited tournament can help your gallery valuation a lot. And if you have good limited players, that is very possible. So I think I would try to play cap 240 rare and try to play 1 or 2 each other rare divisions. For example, 2nd division Europe rare. That is the perfect one, I think. and also which other, like, this is hard. I definitely cap 2, yeah, I have it. Cap 240 rare, and try to make a 2nd division Europe rare team. And if you have more money and you don't prioritize limited too much, I would personally try to play cap 270 rare, because I think those 3 lineups, or those 3 tournaments I mean, are probably the easiest to win money from or make profit, and also play some limited besides that. The next one is the last budget option on this list, because if you have a budget valuation over 10,000 euros, I'm not the right man to give you advice, because I haven't never been near the 10,000 euro mark or up. I'm currently at, I think, 6,000 or something, and I'm very happy here. So if I were myself and I wanted to move slightly away from my strategy, because I think I have done a little bit wrong, if I would have now had, let's say, 5,000 euros or let's say 2,000 to 10,000 euros in my Sorare account, I would play cap 240 super rare. And the reason for that is I think it's way too, not way too overlooked, that's the wrong word, but I don't think we have this luxury anymore in some years, because playing cap 240 now is a cheat code. You play against Sorare, it is pretty easy to hit the threshold, and you get that amount of money. I think you get like 200 euros or something, or a little under that, I'm not sure, I have never played cap 240 super rare, but I feel like you can win so much of your money back. But keep in mind, it's harder in super rare, because it takes longer to get your players, and like, the managers are smarter and they will try to get as much money out of you as possible. But still, I think that is one thing I would do. And of course, play many rare divisions, but as I said earlier, don't go too hard on... I think it's much more better here to have a good cap 240 super rare team than many okay rare teams and a bad cap 240 super rare team. I think prioritize the cap 240 super rare team, and then you can play a little bit of limited, but not prioritize that for sure if you are on that budget. At least that wouldn't I do personally. And also try to play I would of course play cap 240 rare. I would play All-Star Rare I would play, not All-Star Rare, it depends where you are on the budget. If you have a budget on 10,000 euros, I would play almost every single Rare division. And also slightly move away from Rare to Rare Pro. For example, second division Europe Rare Pro can be very fun to play. And those type of divisions, but you know what I mean. It of course, like I feel like it's so much easier on the lower budget to say exactly what you should do, because if you have a budget around 2,000 to 10,000, you don't have everything in your account. But if you do, it's much easier for me to help you, but I think 99% of you have a lot of players, and that is what takes up the valuation. So I can't say to play second division Europe Rare if you have 0 second division Europe Rare players and have nothing in your account. But what I'm saying is try to play Cap 240 Super Rare, because I don't think it will be on Sorare for too long, because it's way too good to be true. I have seen so many people profit off it, in limited at least, but I feel like you need to be very smart in Super Rare, because when you have made a purchase, you need to stick with it, because you can't just flip it back to another person if it doesn't go right. That is something you can do in limited, so keep that in mind. If you want they, for example, to deposit 5,000 euros, keep that in mind, please, because yeah, and don't rush it. That's very important. The higher your budget gets, the more of a risk it gets if it goes badly. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, a little different one. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next one. Bye bye and take care. Peace.